Okay, and the magic machine tells me that I'm live. The magic machine tells me that I'm live, and I don't have a lot of time on my hands. I'm kind of pressed for time. I've got about, really, folks, the elephant in the room. What's going on, baby? How you doing, sweetheart? I've got about 25 minutes, and I've got a veritable S ton of stuff to get through if I want to get through it. This is a book called Linked. This is the third anniversary of my father's passing. My dad died on April 19th, 2020. I got the call a little after midnight. Kelly was with me. And 4 months after that, she was out of my life. So it's kind of a whirlwind ride, but it's crazy. My father passed away the day before Hitler's birthday. If Hitler died on April 20th, 420, why does everyone smoke on at 420, man? When Albert Hoffman took his famous first LSD trip ever, the first LSD trip took place on 419. So why does everyone smoke at 420 when 420 is Hitler's birthday, but something amazing happened on 419? And the spread of LSD around the world is totally linked to the CIA. It's bizarre. Anyway, this is a book called Linked from 2003. So 2003, people know I've been gathering up all the books from in my house from 2003, 2013, 1998, 1993, 1983, anything related to these so-called nostalgia loops, these anniversary years. This book, Linked, was on my bookshelves, but somehow had not been sweeped. On Sunday night, I was doing yet another sweep. I was gathering up books, making another culling because I have too many books in my house, and my primary family was giving away books to the veterans. Like, was doing a giveaway, was gathering up, donations to give to the veterans, and said, if you've got any stuff that you want to put into this donation pile, do it. So I said, I'm gonna yet again go and be really tough on myself and say, look, what books are here because you wanna read them, but you're not actually gonna read these, dude. There's so many books here. You're really probably not gonna end up reading all these books in your life because you don't really have that much time to read these. So let's be honest. So I was going through these books and I found this book and I was like looking at it. So, well, making tough choices. And I was really thinking about really putting it in the pile of let's give this thing away. And I took one more look at it and I looked at the date and I said, well, it's from 2003. So maybe we'll save it. And then I just did a flip through to see, well, and I found what it was obviously being used as its bookmark. And I found an insurance card for a 98 Honda. Well, this was a car that was used by me, but was obviously, the way my father operated things, it was, it was registered to him and the insurance is made out, for his address, but it's a 98 Honda. So the year of the car was interesting to me at first. So it's on the 25-year nostalgia loop. I remember the car. And then I look at the date for the effective date and the expiration date of the policy. And it's the effective expiration date is April 19th, 2003. Well, April 19th, that's the day my father passed away. In 2003, that's right on the nostalgia loop. And this book is from 2003. Bum, bum, bum. So that got pretty friggin' crazy. That just got crazy for me. Now, I immediately send this. I take a picture of the front of the book, the thing, and then I look and I say, it was on this chapter called The Second Link, The Random Universe. Also, I'll point out the fact that, 02 was the year that I first started law school under, deception. My father, I ended up becoming a lawyer because my father, lied to me. It was a real bait and switch move. It was, it was a fool for believing this, this liar. But it's ridiculous. But the page that it's on is 9, and obviously the preceding page is 8, so that we have another 98. Okay, so that's very interesting to me as well. This book is first copyright 2002, but the first plume printing is 2003. On September 18th, 1783, in St. Petersburg, Leonard Euler started the day as usual. He gave a mathematics lesson to one of his grandchildren and took up some calculations on the flight of balloons. Just 3 months earlier, south of Lyon, the Montgolfier brothers had launched an enormous balloon that rose 6,500 feet. If you add 6 and 5 together, you get 11. One of my magic numbers. Feet into the air and landed safely about a mile away. Euler was working out the mathematics of the balloon's motion as the Montgolfier brothers were preparing to launch a sheep into the air in front of King Louis the 16th in Paris, a flight that took place the next day on September 19th. Euler never heard about that event, however. After lunch, working with his assistants, he made some calculations on the orbit of the recently discovered planet Uranus. The equations introduced by him capturing the planet's peculiar orbit would lead decades later to the discovery of the planet Neptune. Euler did not live to witness that discovery either. At about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, he suffered a brain hemorrhage and uttered, "I am dying," before losing consciousness. He died that evening, ending the most prolific career in mathematics of all time. Shortly after I made this discovery, I sent this picture of this insurance card with this prophetic date of April 19th, 2003, resonating with the 20-year nostalgia loop and resonating with the predicting the date of my father's demise, to my ex-wife. And she said, "Now, don't get freaked out by this." And I said, "What?" And it turns out that one of the fathers in one of my daughter's class had passed away suddenly that very morning. Now, what was unusual about this is that this was the second father of a child in one of her reduced cohorts to pass away this year. And we would do this whole, it always happens in threes thing. So there's that. So I think that's that on the personal stuff. So, there's that. So, hey, and then we get to so there's that. So I did, my shirt duplicated, we have that whole, she blinded me with science, my shirt got cloned. We have that. So look, folks, I mean, what can I tell you? Ivan Teller is totally watching me. If you want to see his newest video, he's absolutely watching me and watching my stuff. I'm flattered by it. I don't have a problem with it. I've got this stuff. So we've got actual stuff that's working and stuff. And time becomes a loop. I hope I don't sound like a lunatic. Yeah, it's crazy coincidences, but I feel like I've got a higher ratio here. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm dealing with a higher ratio here than most people, folks. And, you know what I mean? And there's other stuff here. And we got Jonas out in the live chat. Okay. And, we've got other stuff happening on April 19th. And I got my big stuff happen out of the way on that thing. And then we've got other stuff happening on April 19th. But let me get to the live chat first. We got Elephant in the Room grabbing that gold medal. Elephant in the Room grabbing that gold medal. Hello. We got Philip Blair in the live chat. There you go. I saw your Twitter posts. I really don't think it changes anything, but I appreciate you, bringing it to my attention. The cultural things, it brings a certain air to it, but I don't really think it changes the issue for me. But I appreciate you bringing that extra cultural factor to my attention. Tim Frey, we say hello to Tim Frey, grabbing that bronze medal. We have Anima Tunes. Anima Tunes, honorable mention onto Anima Tunes. It's a big fu to Hitler. Is that the point? Would that be the point? I think it's lost on Hitler. I don't know if he gets the joke. I don't know if he gets the jokes. Here we go. Hitler's fans in the United States started the more modern war on cannabis in the 1930s, then ramped it up under Nixon, another raging anti-Semite. There's an angle, but I think you got. I think the 420 brothers have to do more and sisters have to do more to publish that angle. And considering the number of Adolf Hitler fans that I know that indulge, I think it's lost on them. You know what I mean? And to say nothing of, I got to tell you something. Well, until I got to tell you something. The number of, anti-Semites that profit off of, cannabis consumption. I mean, one hand leads to that. It is what it is. Hey, what it is. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? But the story continues. We say hello to genocide. You're working. Get out of town. You working? I don't believe it. We say hello to Jewel Lightheart. We say hello to Prague Magic. Okay. Other interesting things on April 19th. On the 30-year nostalgia loop, we have Waco. But on that point, anniversaries and strange anniversaries, and I have only 14 minutes left with you guys before I do have to run. April 19th and the unusual things about April 19th and my magic number 11, AD 65. Hey, playing with numbers. What do the numbers mean? Who knows? You add a 6, you add a 5 together. You get 69. No, you don't. No, you don't. You get 11. You do. Pissio's plot. Woo-woo! Here come the firemen. Should you bring enough ammo? Listen, Emperor Nero. You got to follow through, gentlemen. The Pissio's plot. Piso's plot. Are you sure? I'm putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong. Liu Kang? Sorry, joking. That was a joke. It's a joke. Listen to what the flower children say. Tomorrow, listen. Half off. German soldiers. They pay full price. They owe. I'll never get to the Christian soldiers in Iowa. Here we go. Emperor Nero. This is what happened. They tried to kill him. They didn't do it. It was like a foretelling of the Valkyrie plot again, but for the first time. But here's where we get the numbers. Check this out. Among the exiled or denigrated, the pardoned and the acquitted, the named conspirators, at least 41 individuals were accused of being part of the conspiracy. Of the known 41, there were 19 senators, 7 equites, people involved with horses, 11 soldiers, and 4 women. Now it's a party. Okay? Now check it out. This those numbers again. 11 and 4. In 1506, the Lisbon Massacre begins, in which the accused Jews were slaughtered by Portuguese Catholics, the Christians, so like us. Started on Sunday, April 19th, 1506. As many as 4,000 new Christians, the name for Jews that had been forcibly converted to Christianity. When King Manuel I took the throne in 1495, he liberalized the status of Jews who had been held in virtual slavery. In 1496, under pressure from the Catholic monarchs of Spain, he ordered all Jews to either accept baptism or leave the country. However, Manuel did not want to lose an important and productive part of the population. So in 1497, before the deadline for their departure, he had all Jews converted by royal decree. You're Christian now. So that Khazarian myth, but in reality, but in reverse. Okay? So there you go. So this included native Portuguese Jews as well as a sizable population of Jews who had fled Spain after the Edict of Expulsion in 1492. In 1499, Manuel forbade the new Christians to leave the country. Okay? The original Christian population resented the new converts. They were angered by this new source of economic competition and suspected that many of the converts continued to observe the Jewish faith in secret. How dare they, right? Despite the king's efforts to maintain the peace, there were occasional outbursts of violence against the new Christians, culminating in the Lisbon Massacre in 1506. The massacre. The massacre began in the church of São Domingos, that's St. Dominguez, on Sunday, 19th of April in 1506, right? This is Easter, right? This is Easter time. The faithful were praying for an end to the drought and plague. How this happens, right? That were sweeping the country when several worshipers claimed they saw a strange light emanating from a crucifix in the chapel of Jesus. Word of the apparent miracle spread, and soon the church was packed with a great crowd that included German and French sailors from trading ships in the harbor. The crowd became incensed when a new Christian ridiculed the claims of a miracle, right? A fight broke out in the church, and the man was killed along with other new Christians who were present. The mob spilled out of the church and began killing any new Christians they came across. They built a pyre of the church square and threw the bodies of the victims onto the fire. They started killing babies. They started killing. Here's the thing. The side of the prosecution, the Dominican friars got involved, urging the crowd to kill the heretics and extinguish the wicked race. Reports of the numbers killed from less than 1,000 to more than 4,000. Most were new Christians, but some old Christians, that's just regular old Christians, were also murdered. At least one important royal official was killed. A new Christian and tax collector was undoubtedly a focus of public hatred. There you go. So here's the point. The point is that this is going to be the first, but not the last time that we're going to see this pattern of first, it's going to be Jews, but you're going to have minorities on April 19th. It's going to be watch out if you're kind of a minority, because it's going to get your head chopped day on April 19th. There you go. And we move forward through time. In 1770, on April 19th, Captain James Cook, later to be Admiral James Cook, discovers Australia, first sights Australia. It was on this day in 1770 that Marie Antoinette married King Louis of France. I think that was the guy we heard about. It was on this day in 1775 that the shot heard around the world occurred at the Battle of Lexington and Concord, starting off the Revolutionary War. Okay, so that the Waco occurred on the anniversary of the start of the Revolutionary War, in case you're curious, which also was the anniversary of another confrontation between the ATF and paramilitary groups, as we'll see. Oh, in 1903, there was another program in Russia against the Jews, where thousands of Jews were killed. They literally ripped apart babies in that one. That was great. In 1927, Mae West was arrested and sentenced to 10 days in jail for obscenity for her play Sex. So remember that whole Madonna book, Sex? She was just ripping off Mae West. I got you my own time. There you go. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising occurred in 1943 on this day, the same day that Albert Hofmann deliberately dosed himself with LSD for the first time, 3 days after having discovered the effects of LSD on April 16th. accidentally discovering the creation of LSD on April 16th. In 1971, the first space station, the Salyut 1, was launched. On that same day, Charles Manson was sentenced to death for conspiracy in the Tate Lee Bianca murders. That was later commuted to life in prison when California got rid of the death sentence. 4 years later, in 1975, on April 19th, India launched its first satellite. The last major battle of the Vietnam War occurred on this day in 1975. Did you know that it was not until 1984 that Australia had a national anthem? Yeah, Advance Australia Fair was apparently proclaimed Australia's national anthem, and green and gold were pronounced its national colors, according to Wikipedia. And in 1985, 200 ATF and FBI agents laid siege to a compound of the white supremacist survival group, the Covenant, the Sword, and the Arm of the Lord in Arkansas. That same year, the band Cabaret Voltaire released an album of the same title, though it's had to be shortened. 2 years later, on this day, The Simpsons first appeared on the Tracy Ullman Show. Okay, so the debut of The Simpsons predicted it, occurred on the same day that Waco occurred. I also point out that I had been spending a lot of time recently in the year 1988. So that's interesting. Okay, so here we go. 1993, the 51-day FBI siege of the Branch Davidian building in Waco, Texas ends. So this is actually the anniversary of the end of the siege. 76 Davidians, including 18 children under the age of 10, died in the fire. So you add 7 and 6 together, and we get 13. Okay. 1995, remembering that day, we have the Oklahoma City bombing. So, and I spent a lot of time in 1995 as well. In 2011, Fidel Castro resigned as the first secretary of the Communist Party of Cuba after holding that title since July of 1961. And folks, on the 10-year nostalgia loop, the Boston Marathon bombing suspect Tamerlan Tarzanov is killed in a shootout with police. His brother Dazakar is later captured hiding in a boat inside a backyard in the suburb of Waterton. Okay, so there you go. In 2020, a killing spree in Nova Scotia, Canada, leaves 22 people and the perpetrator dead, making it the deadliest rampage in Canada's history. So we see that Canada has joined America in the great wonder parade of let's get our children shot with weapons. So an interesting day. What we can know and understand, and I'm running out of time, I got 2 minutes, and I want to talk about birthdays and death days, is there are interesting days. Some of these days we look at and there's nothing going on, and some of these days there's a cavalcade of interesting things happen. Who was born on April 19th? Elliot Ness was born on this day in 1903. I know that there was some other birthdays that I saw. Jane Mansfield was born on this day in 1933. Also, we missed the anniversary of Roz Williams passing. Roz Williams committed suicide on April 1st, 1998. I played bass in a band called Majesty and Misery that was the first opening band of Roz Williams' last East Coast appearance at the Middle East in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Fuck you. So, yeah. He passed away on April 1st, 1998. So that the 25th anniversary of the passing of Roz Williams of Christian Death occurred. So Jane Mansfield, of Church of Satan fame was born on April 19th, 1933. Dudley Moore, 1935, passed in 2002. Here we go. Bernie Worrell of P-Funk fame, keyboardist, born in this day, 1944, died in 2016. Tim Curry, sweet transvestite, still with us, 1946 born. Simon Cowell. Suge Knight, born this day, 1965. Ashley Judd. James Franco, 1978. Oh, God. Kate Hudson, 1979. Hayden Christensen, 1981. Take what we get. Gothello, Duke of Lorraine, was born in this day and it died in 1044. We're just mentioning him because his name is Gothello. What? You can be called Gothello? Yes, that's it. Okay. If I ever love again. Topped. Why? Your reason for traveling to Korea? Adoption. Why? Shopping. Here we go. Deaths. 1901. This is births or deaths? Where am I? Oh, shoot. I'm 1 minute over. Hold on. Deaths. Here we go. Hold on. Ba 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 ba. You have to die. Here we go. We're going in reverse chronological order. 2021, Walter Mondale died. 2021, Jim Steinman died. Raymond Carr died. Levon Helm died. J.G. Ballard died in 2009. Octavio Paz died in 1998. 25-year nostalgia loop. 1993, David Koresh. I saw another one. I swear to God, I saw another one. It's going to come back and haunt me. Who was it? I think it was Ballard. Okay, here we go. Oh, no, it was an event. It was like there was a pope. Like a pope got nominated. Cardinal 2005, Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger is elected to the papacy, papacy, dopacy, dapacy, doomacy, schmoopacy. He becomes dun 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 that guy, Pope Benedict the Boo Boo, until his resignation in 2013 on the 10-year nostalgia loop. So get you, bitch. You fucker. Anyway, we end on a Ratzinger. Here we go. Egyptian Tyrone, and then I'm out. Because we gotta go. My phone's gonna ring. My ex-wife is gonna be like, "Are you leaving?" Yes, I'm out the door. Boom. It's gonna be a speed read. Pick me a winner. Wow. You know what? And here we go. 2 of Swords. Okay. And I've got 11 people watching me now, and I'm reflecting upon, the anniversary of my father's passing, and it's fathers and sons, and it's ideas, and it's 2 different ideas, and it's how to take things. There's always going to be a different way to look at something. There's always going to be a different way to spin an idea. And there's always going to be an escape clause, therefore. If you're bummed, if you're pissed, if you're feeling screwed about a situation, there's always a way to think about it from another angle and to find a way to make it a winning situation. And there's no reason to go further with it than that when you have to go. And I got to go. I love you. I love you. I love you. If nobody told you they loved you today, it's the guy that knows when he has to keep it short and stupid. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. In short, I love you. I really do. I really do. Thank you for being here for me. I got to go. I'm okay. It's the anniversary of my father's passing. He was a son of a bitch, but he's gone. He's gone. And I love him and I forgive him. I forgive him. Dust in the wind. Okay? And it comes and it goes. There's good days and there's bad days, but there's ways to deal with it. Okay? But I got to go to take care of my kids. Okay? And take care of your kids. Sarah's Pop Orchestra, baby. I love it. I love it. Lunar Sparkles. I love it. Everybody I see, if you caught this late, come back and catch it from the beginning. I'll talk to you soon. What numbers do you see in your life? What numbers do you see coming around? Let me know in the comment section below. Get involved. Stay involved. Make sure you subscribe to all my channels. Make sure you see all my videos. Watch my videos. If you don't watch the other videos on the other channels, you're not going to get the recommendations from YouTube. You're not going to see the videos pop up when they pop up. Okay? I love you. Get involved. Be good.